Many teachers in America have probably thought to themselves, how do I deal with a student that has no passion to learn, that has no interest to learn, and has no desire to learn for several reasons? These instructors contemplate, what can I do as a teacher to engage a student who shows no interest in school? How can I get them to be curious and excited again? What if I told you that video games are the answer? Since the first video game Palmer was released in 1972, video games have been a huge part of our culture that continues to grow. Video games became popular with adolescents and young adults during the 1980s. Arcades were open across America and young people would meet with friends and play games as a pastime. Video games continue to explode over the past several decades into hundreds of genres, tournaments, and companies. The video game craze has never slowed down with the youth, not even during economic recessions. Despite the downturn in the country's economy, consumer video games account for 1/3 of monthly entertainment spending. The education system will benefit the modern student more when video game technology is integrated into the learning curriculum. Video games will give students a more meaningful, engaging, and relatable learning experience. Video games in the classrooms are the best choice the school district can make because of how versatile the media is. It is also a form of communication all Generation Z and Alpha uses. Play has been a theme of the work around games necessary, but has not been a well understood aspect of learning. Play is essential for work and school environments. What makes a productive learning environment is also what makes a successful video game. There's no real estimated difference between the two. So in order for our schools to improve their curriculum, they have to add more play and more modern forms of communication so the students can process the learning in a more productive way. There has been some examples of video games and technology being used in a positive learning tool in education. A 2016 study by Project Tomorrow, an education nonprofit, found that 68% of K-12 teachers use video games in the classroom in 2015, up from 47% in 2012. Video games were once viewed as a distraction in the education system. Now video games are an essential tool to help teachers educate their students in several subjects in more effective ways.
How do video games change the educational system for the better? The educational system will benefit the modern student more when video game technology is integrated into the learning curriculum to give students a more meaningful, engaging, and relatable learning experience. The goal is not to turn formal learning into a mere leisure activity per se, but to use video game technology to create dynamic and motivating opportunities for learning. Video gaming is a modern technology that most children use to experience and learn, and integrating that into the classroom will make learning not only relatable but addictive. Let us use the addicting nature of video games to increase math, science, and English ability. Gaming technology can enable personalized learning by immediately showing students where they're going wrong and repeating levels as necessary.
There are some concerns when you consider adding video games to the education system. One of those concerns are how addictive video games are by design, because the creators want you to play repeatedly. But a positive is if we implement learning into a video game that students will want to play repeatedly, learning will become addicting. Adding video games in the classroom will not only increase the urge to learn in students, but will also increase the length of class periods while lowering fatigue. Technology in the classrooms is already common for most students. According to the BBC, service in schools use tablets or computers. Well-designed games can serve as next-generation assessments that engage students in a seamless learning experience and access their learning without them even realizing it. A great game makes you want to play it over and over again.
What are the negatives of adding video games in an educational curriculum? Some educational video games were designed to have students memorize terms and notes instead of focusing on gameplay and the learning experience. These games may have some creative animations, but they are not much different than physical flashcards. Educational games that are soulless will do more harm than good in the classroom and will feel pointless to students. Games that are creative will offer immense lessons for students and teachers to learn from. Educational progress is hard to measure in video games and technology because measurements provided by technology tends to be black and white. Moreover, while the efficacy of educational games is hard to measure, findings from quantitative RCT and more data-driven longitudinal studies are giving us more robust findings to build and improve design and learning experience, improve gamification and game-based elements, and enhancing student success.
Video games overall will be a great positive tool for any learning environment at any level. The only negatives of this tool is that the creators of this game have to create it with innovation and passion. If they don't, the video game will become a boring tool for students and it won't live up to its full potential. It could become a potential distraction, but if used correctly and if created with actual good intentions, a video game will transform a classroom, especially a classroom that is struggling. That's the end of my presentation, and thank you.